Honestly, growing up in Houston, I have only been to, like, I can probably count on both hands how many Houston Rockets games I went to in person as a kid and as an adult. And I'll never forget one of the first ones when we had just moved to the city. This is like late 90s, around 98, 99 time. The Rockets were not yet playing at Toyota Center. They were playing at the center that is now, Joel Osteen, where he preaches. What's his name of his church now?
Yeah, I don't know the name of the church, but Joel Osteen is the one that everyone knows.
Everybody knows Joel Osteen and his church. That very church used to actually be the arena in which the Rockets played back in the day. And I'll never forget walking up the ramp, and as we were about to enter the arena, my pops letting me know, it's my first NBA game as a kid. My pops telling me, like, yo, like Michael Jordan actually walked these very steps before. Like, you're walking on a rarefied ground here. Thinking back on it, they were concourse ramps, so I'm sure Michael Jordan – I'm sure my dad was lying to me.
Yeah, right. He didn't grab a pretzel from the concession stand.
Yeah, like, why would Michael have – I'm sure he went – they had a special entrance for players, but that was the story that was told to me. That's what I believed as a kid. So it already I felt the gravity of that moment as we walked up in there, and I knew what this meant. This was a Lakers versus Rockets game. Regular season, middle of the year in Houston. I think my pops got tickets off of some kind of corporate thing, and so there were pretty nice seats. And I, who didn't necessarily have a favorite NBA team at that moment, I just liked certain players in the league. I actually rocked a Houston Rockets Charles Barkley jersey, right? The dark blue one. Think about the dream jersey that you see a lot of times, the dark blue Houston Rockets colorway blue with the red trim. It was lovely. I used to rock that jersey here and there just for fun. Rocked it to that game. Didn't have a favorite team. Definitely wasn't rooting for the Rockets because I didn't like them. My older brother, he actually really liked Shaq at the time. So he had a gold Lakers 34 jersey on, just like the one you'll see on the YouTube stream there. And we walked in there, and it's funny because we're talking about the first time you fell in sports love with an athlete, a player, or a team. My love for this certain athlete that I did fall for this day actually spawned from hate. Because as we got to our seats and as we started to enjoy this game versus the Rockets and the Lakers, and it was a little back and forth affair, there were so many fans around us because of my brother wearing the Shaq jersey and because of their fandom, I guess, for the Rockets, that were calling Shaq the Diesel, all these crazy names. Like, they were defaming the dude, talking down on him, rooting against him, booing him and everything like that. And again, I wasn't a fan of the Lakers at all, wasn't even a fan of Shaq at that moment, but I enjoyed watching him play ball, and I just could not in my childlike brain understand why so many people was hating on the big fella. And when that game tipped off, I thought I would be rooting for the Rockets. I had my Barkley jersey on. By the time that game finished, after the show that Shaq put on in that arena, I was actively rooting for the Lakers, not just in opposition of the fans around us that was heckling my brother and heckling Shaq, but also because of the display that I watched get put on by that dude, 7'1", 300 pounds, the most dominant player in the history of basketball, any level. That guy was unstoppable. I know that his work ethic gets chipped away at. I know that even his demeanor and some of the corny things he might say or do today, people laugh at. He's in a lot of ads, too. There's a little bit of oversaturation of Shaquille O'Neal these days. But that was my first time seeing him in person, and it was that day, that very day, that I fell in sports love with Shaquille O'Neal. People ask me all the time, how'd you grow up in Houston and you became a Heat fan? It's because of Shaq. It's because of Shaq. It's because of that one day at, I believe it was, Comcast Arena or something like that at the time, when I watched him put on a show, and I realized this is my favorite NBA player. This is a guy I want to root for, whether or not I like the Lakers, whether or not I ever see him again play. I actually never saw him play in person again since that day, right? I mean, he played in L.A. for the majority of the back end of that career, and even when he bounced around, I hadn't gone to a lot of NBA games since, so it didn't make sense. But I became a Shaq fan, and when he was traded to the Heat in the summer of 2004, that is when I became a part of Heat culture, and now for the past 2 decades, I consider myself a Heat lifer now. And Shaquille O'Neal's presence, his aura, his excellence, his demeanor, his personality, the gravity in which he has when he just walks into a room, as well as the dominance that he showed on the basketball court, is the very reason why I can be proud and say that the Heat are my favorite team and have been for a while. And that's a franchise that it's one of those that you wear on your chest. I'm also a Miami Hurricanes fan. Love them to death. Sometimes it's a little, sometimes it can get a little sticky.
You're not proud of being a Hurricanes fan.
Not very proud of it. Not very proud of it actively. But as a Heat fan, even in down years, I'm proud because of what the foundation of that organization is, how they continue to retool and reinvent this thing, and what their kind of morals and ethics and what they stand for. I just love Heat culture. I love this squad. And it's all because of Shaq. My first time falling in sports love spewed from hate, and it turned into my fandom for the Miami Heat. So I'm eternally grateful for Shaq, and it makes me think today, who are those athletes, C-Cat, that these younger generations are going to be able to gravitate to and are watching today that will shape their sports fandom decades from now, right? Because that's how these things work. Like, think about the Luka Doncic fans in Dallas. The people that, they grew up in Dallas, and, these kids are Mavericks fans, but it was 77 they were rooting for. They don't give a damn about Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis. They don't care that the Mavericks have won, 3 out of their last 4 games since the trade. They like Luka Doncic, and there's a good chance there's going to be a large base of Dallas area people who are going to be Lakers fans for the rest of their lives, all because of this one trade. That was me with Shaq and the Heat. That's going to be a lot of fans these days because they fell in sports love, and I'm curious who the first athlete, team, or maybe a coach, maybe you're a big Bob Hurley guy, that made you fall in sports love and forever change the way in which your fandom was driven. Let us know. Let us know here on Valentine's Day on ESPN 106.3's airwaves on Theoretically Speaking. What was the first time you fell in sports love? 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. The very first time, either watching it via the television screen, being in person. Maybe you're reading a newspaper clip and you just saw something real cool. Somebody, Will Chamberlain, 100 points? That's my guy. The first time you fell in sports love, let us know here on Theoretically Speaking. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. It takes aura. It takes excellence. It also takes them playing the game with a great bit of fun. That's what makes people fall in sports love with a team or with an athlete. That's what Shaq embodied throughout his career. I mean, he had some raps. He had some movies. He just was a character, man. And I think there was I'm not the only one that was just engulfed with what Shaq was able to bring to the basketball court, C-Cat. Do you have a first sports love?
Yes, I do. I do have a first sports love, and I'm taking it in a literal sense.